Hi, welcome back to Some. This movie name will be revealed at the end. Please watch till the end. At the morning of the film, we're introduced to a well-off businessman named Jin. He owns several businesses, utmost of which are cafes. Jin is a culinary art sucker and is veritably particular about the food vended in his cafes. He spends hours tasting dishes served by notorious cookers to make them perfect. Through the times, he has developed a unique gift where he can tell what constituents a dish is made of just by smelling it. One day, Shengnan goes to a 5-star hostel that he's looking to buy. The first dish he's served is the notorious beef Wellington, which is a specialty of the head cook. Jin tries a bite and spits it out, saying that the type of mushroom used in the dish is wrong. Also, he served a plethora of different dishes, all of which are the cook's special. Still, each of them has one debit or the other that dissatisfies him. By the end of an hour, the head cook runs out of ideas and feels helpless. The staff also have no indication how to impress someone as picky as Jin. This is when we're introduced to a youthful cook named Shengnan. Although she's just an intern, her knowledge of worldwide culinary styles is impeccable, and she's soon to be promoted because of her gift. Indeed, though they only have 20 twinkles left before Jin leaves, Shengnan takes the challenge to make him commodity he likes. None of the staff members suppose she can pull it off, but right after 20 twinkles, Jin has a new dish on his table. When he smells the first trace of the food, his eyes open wide. He recognizes it as the special Romani dish named spaghetti alla strega. Jin can indeed tell that the chef is a woman, because the dish is passed down to ladies of Romani origin. The spices must be veritably precisely measured, because it's a traditional dish that doesn't allow any particular spin on it. Shengnan has made it exactly how it's supposed to be, which gains Jin's appreciation. He cleans the plate dry and decides to stay at the hostel for many days to taste further of her dishes. The director tells Shengnan about Jin's comment, making her realize that he has a vast knowledge of food. She takes it as a challenge and is ready to blow his mind with her cuisine. Shengnan is also dating the eatery's general director. He takes advantage of her position and makes her cook food for him indeed on the days she's busy. One autumn, after enjoying everything she made for him, he reveals that he wants to break up because she is too skinny for his relish. Shengnan is agonized, but she knows there's no point in arguing. Latterly that day, Jin is on his way out when he notices her sitting on his auto's hood. He doesn't fade her as the cook since he saw her face. Shengnan thinks the auto belongs to her ex-boyfriend and scrapes it to educate him an assignment. When Jin calls her out, she realizes she came to the wrong bottom. She snappily apologizes and promises to paint it new. At night, Shengnan gets drunk and climbs on the roof. At the same time, Jin is making ramen in his room. He believes that indeed the 2-nanosecond pate is a delicate dish to make, since one has to measure the constituents and time precisely. Just when he's about to take a bite, someone falls on his deck. It's none other than a drunk Shengnan who has fallen from the roof. When she refuses to go out, Jin puts her into a wallet and keeps her inside the elevator. She's set up by 2 staff members who go into a delirium, assuming that she's a dead body. In the ensuing scene, Jin is locked inside a cell with other culprits. Shengnan is outside explaining what happened to the Bobby. While latterly, Jin's adjunct arrives and bails him out. Jin hopes to meet Shengnan again, but they cross paths the veritably coming day. Shengnan is helping some kitties when she accidentally touches a beehive. The notions attack Jin, making his face swell. Having had enough of her, he gives her a watch that will warn her if she's near him. Shengnan promises to run down as soon as she hears the alarm. Starting the coming day, Jin orders several dishes to test the cook's gift. Shengnan impresses him with every single dish, but Jin is still ignorant that she's the same girl he wants to stay down from. With time, he starts ordering food that isn't indeed on the menu. Shengnan works till night and is veritably tired, but Jin doesn't show signs of prostration. Hence, she puts squid essay on one of the dishes, emblematizing that she's running down. Jin understands the communication and stops ordering food for the night. He also sends her a letter asking her to be a good opponent rather of running down. The following day, Jin has to appear in an interview. The canvasser asks him questions about the wallet reproach, making him uncomfortable. At the same time, Shengnan finds out the picky customer is none other than the same Joe who she has to stay down from. Spooked that her watch will ring, she tries to run but falls into the swimming pool. For the coming mess, Jin wants Shengnan to showcase her creativity. Rather of the name of the dishes, he sends her 3 themes that she's free to interpret still she likes. The themes are a time, a place, and a moment. For the first theme, Shengnan makes extremely racy seafood, indicating summertime. Jin has a hard time eating anything racy, but is happy that she nailed the theme. The alternate bone is the place. In this dish, Jin can smell rosemary, which reminds him of a lighthouse by the ocean. He realizes it's a definition of Shanghai. Also, for the last dish, she makes pork with matcha seasoning that Jin associates with the Japanese tea form. He's further impressed by Shengnan's gift, while Shengnan is impressed that he could find out exactly what she was trying to portray with each dish. For the Kate, she requests she makes an original dish. It's a sweet cutlet made of constituents that are generally from the US, Canada, and the UK. These are the 3 places Jin has lived in over the times, so he understands that it represents him. Still, there's a truffle on the side that takes him by surprise. He asks the server to bring the cook, so she can explain its meaning tête-à-tête. Hysterical to face him, Shengnan sends the head cook outdoors with her communication. He reveals that the truffle grows underground and eats everything around it to maintain its power. Shengnan believes Jin is like a truffle, which is why she made it. Jin refuses to believe the head cook and goes looking for Shengnan, but she runs down before he finds her. A while laterally, they impinge into each other in the restroom. Jin smells the scent of food from her and recognizes her as the cook who has been cooking for him. The following day at work, he turns off his watch and catches her cuisine in the eatery's kitchen. Shengnan has to reluctantly admit that she's his cook. She also affirms that the truffle was to emblematize his arrogance. Jin gives it a study and praises her for understanding him better than himself. Latterly, he's in his room when he gets a call from his father, Mr. Liu. The man is so business acquainted that he constantly fails to be a father to Jin. Liu urges him to return to work as he has spent a lot of time in a single hostel. Coming morning, Jin calls the room service to order the first mess of the day. Still, he's told Shengnan is on sick leave. Not wanting to eat food cooked by anyone differently, he goes to her apartment. He has indeed brought all the necessary constituents, so she can make the dish that he wants her to. Her home is messy, but Jin declutters and sets himself a table while she culinarians. Shengnan is still weirded out by his appearance, but she sits down with him to eat. To her surprise, he asks her to eat in the kitchen because he prefers eating alone. She curses him for being arrogant before doing as told. When she comes out a while laterally, she finds Jin taking a nap on her settee. He has a hard time falling asleep anywhere differently, but for some reason, her settee is veritably comfortable. Jin wakes up hours laterally and finds Shengnan sleeping on her bed. The coming day, he comes again and makes her cook a different dish. After eating, he falls asleep again. On the 3rd day, he comes with a distance to cover the settee to make it more comfortable. As days pass, he starts bringing pajamas and his particular things. All this time, Shengnan can hardly fall asleep because of his snoring, and has a hard time at work because of it. One autumn, Shengnan allows her to eat with him, and they two enjoy a long mess together. They also eat blowfish for the first time, ignorant that it makes people high. Soon, the two feel its goods and hallucinate that it's raining. They stay under a marquee indeed when indoors, and talk about several effects that make no sense. A while laterally, they go out for a walk, still allowing that it's raining when the rainfall is fully dry. Also, they end up inside a machine where Jin's high wears off. He realizes that people are looking at him and asks Shengnan to put the marquee down. She doesn't hear to him, still affected by the high. By the end of the night, Jin brings her home and tucks her in. Cut to 2 days laterally. Shengnan hasn't seen him since they last ate together. He has also checked out of the hostel, which worries her. Deciding to check up on him, she arrives at his home. To her surprise, he's enjoying a mess made by his particular cook of 7 times. The women incontinently see each other as rivals and try to prove how important they're to Jin. In the end, enrankled Shengnan storms off in wrathfulness. The coming day, the other cook comes to meet Shengnan at work and asks her to be an assistant cook for Jin. Shengnan refuses, asking her to go down. At night, Jin comes to her apartment to apologize, but drives down at the last nanosecond. He has no way felt close to anyone in his life other than Shengnan, which is why he's spooked of losing her, but he doesn't understand that it's love and pulls down. Also, he goes to the eatery the coming day and fires all the kitchen workers. He has decided to buy the hostel, but since it doesn't live up to their standard operation-wise, their company has decided to use it for commodity differently. Jin tries to talk to Shengnan, but she doesn't want to hear to a word he has to say. During regale, Jin asks his cook to join him. She's surprised because over the course of 7 times he has no way asked her to eat. She reveals that she only made 1 portion like she always does. After she leaves, Jin gets a communication from her saying that she cannot be further than a particular cook to him. Jin has to catch a flight in a many hours. He wants to see Shengnan before leaving, but decides against it. In the ensuing scene, he's with his father who's dissatisfied in him for letting his particular interests get in the way of business. They've a mess together, and Jin asks Mr. Liu if he has ever been in love with someone. His father answers that he doesn't indulge in anything that doesn't support his business. At this moment, Jin registers he doesn't want to be like his father. He takes the coming flight to Shanghai to meet Shengnan again. Meanwhile, she is about to vend the watch he gave her long ago. Suddenly, it starts to ring, indicating his presence. Shengnan sees him on the other side of the road and snappily takes a hack. She doesn't want to face him or talk to him. Jin, on the other hand, is stubborn. He follows the hack before and ends up in a crowded request. Upon taking the watch's signal, he finds Shengnan's canine with it. Also, the canine brings him to a place where Shengnan has locked herself outside. She refuses to talk to him, but her internet peaks when he mentions that she's the only friend he has had in life. He confesses his love and asks her to come outdoors. Shengnan indeed makes him say that she's the sexiest person in the world. After the commerce, they go to her apartment structure, but Jin brings her to a different apartment because it has a better view of the sky. The movie ends as they watch the evening together. This is a romantic comedy film. This is not what I expected. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to watch more cine summaries like this, turn on notifications and press the like button to support us.